Hello, beautiful cosmic souls. My name is Cyrena, and welcome to my series called Being Human. If you've been here before, thanks for joining again, and if you're new here, welcome. In this series, I basically am just sharing stories, my experiences with guided visuals, guided journeys, light language activations, and card pulls. So I just like to say, get in a comfy spot, do what you need to. You can put a little bit of music on, have a cup of tea, coffee, water, and just really allow yourself to be present in the next 30, 45 minutes and be open to what wants to come through for you. I always say take what resonates, leave the rest. Yeah, and just join me for this moment, for the messages that want to come through, and we'll go from there. So before I start, I always just like to do a guided kind of grounding meditation, just to really get us here, landed here, to just be able to be present and open to receive. So go ahead and close your eyes. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths in and out together. So you can take a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. One more nice deep breath in and letting everything out. You move your body a little bit, just releasing anything. Doing a bit of a body scan, noticing if there's any tension in the body. If you find any spots of tension or soreness, you can take a nice deep breath into that spot. And on the exhale, just releasing that tension and letting it melt away. Again, bringing gentle movement to the body to stretch things out. Just letting your body relax deeper and deeper in this moment. Noticing where the mind is, where your thoughts are, with no judgment. Just letting them float on by. And if the thoughts become too much or start pulling you out, just always remember you can come back to your breath. Finding that gentle rhythm of in and out. Okay, now I want you to visualize your beautiful energy that surrounds you and is within you. Visualizing it whatever color comes to mind first. And then I want you to visualize sending that energy down through the ground beneath you. And as you send your energy down into the ground, I want you to visualize a golden light coming up from the earth. This golden light will meet your energy, intertwine together with it, creating a strong connection with the earth. And just allowing the earth to hold you, keeping you grounded and centered. Feeling this energy, this connection coming back up into the body and landing in the heart space. Taking a deep breath in and out. And visualizing your energy around you again, this time sending it out through the top of your head and out into the stars, through the sky and into the stars. And as you do, I want you to visualize a white light coming down from source, meeting with your energy, intertwining together, and feeling this connection strengthen to all that you are. Connecting, strengthening this connection from source to your soul for the highest good of all. Just allowing the messages to come through as needed. Feeling that energy, that connection coming down into your body and also landing in your heart space. You may place a hand on your heart if you wish. Taking a deep breath in and out, and just feeling these two energies mixing within you, feeling yourself connected to source above and earth below, the balance within you. And slowly, when you're ready, you may open your eyes and come back to your space. Just noticing if you can tell a difference with how you felt when you first sat down to now. But yeah, just allowing yourself to really be here as I share. And again, just feeling into what resonates, leaving the rest, and going from there. Okay, so what does want to be shared today? I want to talk about, I don't even know where to start with this one, or because I think it's one that we don't realize. But I want to talk about the difference that we can really make in the world by just being ourselves. And especially when we're feeling nudges to reach out to other people or comment on something to them or say something that lifts their spirits. It could be a single word or it could be a whole sentence. But just those moments where we interact with others. And I don't think we realize sometimes how big of impact we can have when we share ourselves from the heart. And a lot of the times we don't realize the impact we have because we don't always hear about it. It could be somebody that we talk to once and never see again, and not realize that there could have been something in that conversation we had with that person that's maybe changed their whole life, that's put them on a completely different path for the better. And again, sometimes as humans, we walk around looking for our purpose, not understanding it, and not even realizing that we're maybe living our purpose without even knowing it. It's just we might not be seeing the benefits of it. My first experience with this was when I worked in the schools. So I used to be a social worker, and I was working in the schools. And the whole job of social worker weighed so heavy on my heart because of the politics side of things. I loved every single job I had and working with the people, but the red tape, everything, the jumping through hoops, I just couldn't handle it anymore. So I was only in the school for 1.5 years, and I did what I could for the kids that I was working with. And I remember leaving that job, and it was the last job I actually had as a social worker before I left it completely and started my own kind of business in the energetic world, I suppose you could say. And it was really hard to leave because I didn't necessarily want to leave all those kids, but I knew I had to. It was just the right move for me because my soul was aching. So I left, and I don't even know. I want to say it was maybe 3 or 4 years. 3 years, I think, after I was in the school. I was out bowling with my husband, and I had to laugh because when I worked in the schools, I had really long hair. It was kind of a reddy dark color, I suppose, and I wore it naturally kind of wavy. And then at this point, my hair was shorter than this, pixie cut, all teal colored. So I look quite different. And as we were leaving the bowling alley, I had a couple girls stop me and they said, "Hey, didn't you work at the school that I was at?" And I said yes, and instantly I recognized them right away. And so we got talking, and I was asking them about how, school was going. At this point, they were now in high school. I worked with them in elementary school. So it was just crazy to like talk with them and see. And the one girl, she said to me, she's like, "You were my favorite counselor I'd ever had." And it like still gets to me talking about it. And I remember leaving and sitting in the car and talking to my husband about it. And it brought tears to my eyes. Because again, we don't realize the impact we have on people unless we're running into them like that and get told. So, not that I feel like I was bad at that job or that I wasn't making a difference. It's just hard when we're not really seeing it or hearing it all the time. So to get that feedback, years later, and if I hadn't ran into them to this day, I wouldn't have known, right? And just to hear that, I don't know, it was just eye-opening, I suppose, to realize that sometimes it doesn't need to be these big grand things that we're doing. Sometimes it just needs to be us, being good listeners. We don't even necessarily have to do anything for anyone. It's just listening sometimes is the best piece that we can give someone. But believing in people, lifting them up when they're down, just saying one little thing, like that is all it takes to be able to change a person's life in a big way. That's the magic that we forget that we have. And I was recently reminded of this again in a little bit of a different way. And this just, to me, is like magic. And this, I guess, just shows like that there's a reason that we run into the people that we do, that we reach out to the people that we do. So I went to a retreat. I did a thing at it last year, and this girl was there. This is how I met her. But at the retreat, I didn't get the chance to really talk to her. But I followed her on Instagram. She has her own business and stuff. So yeah, I started following her, and following her through that, I always resonated with her, and but I never like talked to her or anything. And she ended up sharing a post. It was just a story about Gemini and kind of the myth behind it all. And I'd never really heard it before, and I just like thought it was the coolest thing, and it just so happened to like deeply resonate with me in that moment. And I just felt this push, like I had to reach out to her and just say thank you for sharing that. Like, again, I'd never talked to her before, but I reached out and I said, like, I just want to say, like, thank you for sharing that story. It really spoke to me. Yeah, like it was just a really cool thing to come across. And it got us talking. And she shared that she kind of grew up with stories like that and diving into the myths behind things. And it was something that she was really passionate about. And, she said something about thinking of putting them in a book, but she never has. And I just said to her, like, I think that would be amazing. Like, I would be all over that and would buy a book like that. I love myths and the stories that things come from. So that's right up my alley. And she kind of laughed and she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know, I might have to think about this some more." So that's fine. That was like months ago. Like last year, I think before Christmas. So anyways, and again, we never really talked again. It was just following each other, and then she posted something the other day, so I again just felt that push to reach out and whatever I had said. She came back and she said, this is really funny you reached out, because I'm actually on my way to go talk to a publisher right now about this whole book idea, with the myths and stuff. And I just like dumbfounded almost. I was just like, oh my God, like, you're actually doing that. So again, if I hadn't trusted that nudge to reach out to her and just say what I did, it wasn't even anything super profound. It was just me. That's who I am. When I see something that lights me up, I want to share with the person, like, thank you. That was amazing. Share more. I love lifting others up. So by me reaching out and saying that and telling her, like, I think that's an amazing idea, I'd be totally into that, and I think others would too. That was all she needed, that little tiny spark to reignite that, for her to be like, maybe I should look more into this and actually make it a thing. Boom. Like, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't need to be some huge grand thing that we are doing in life, making a difference for others. It's just us leaning into who we are and feeling those nudges, trusting those nudges, reaching out when we feel them. And again, like, just letting you speak from the heart, letting it do what it's going to without expectations or attachments to it. And again, you don't know the impact and the difference you can make for somebody by just reaching out because you feel like you're feeling that nudge. You might not find out if it makes a difference. That's why I say, speaking from the heart, putting yourself out there without the expectations or attachments to it. But there will be moments, where you will see what you've said or what you've done for another and how much it's made a difference. And I think we get those little moments, we get to see those little moments. It's the universe's way of reminding us, yes, you are making a difference. It might not be the way that you think it should be, but you are. We are all making a difference. Every single person that we come in contact with, every single thing that we say has the opportunity to make an impact for somebody. And that's why it's so important for us to really speak from our hearts, and share us from our soul, because you just never know what it's going to shift or click into place or put that light bulb moment in for somebody else. And it's really, really cool. Like, when you really think about it, it's really cool of how we make these little connections with others, sometimes without even knowing it. So that is what I wanted to share today, because it just makes me so happy. Like, this is what needs to happen more in the world. You know, just connections with others. And yeah, like, I could go so much more. It could take us down a rabbit hole, but I don't really want to go there today, or I could be on here for like hours. So that's where I'm going to leave it, is just to get you thinking about the conversations you're having with people. And are they coming from, just you, that true you? Are they coming from your heart space? Are you sharing little pieces of you for them to sit with and maybe inspire them for other things? Not every single conversation has to be profound like that or anything, but yeah, just to keep in mind, like, there's always opportunities, to spark something in another. And just being careful, a word of caution they're saying, it's not forcing your opinions or the way you see things on others either. That's not what I'm saying. It's just in those moments where you're just having real conversations, sharing parts of each other, or letting somebody know your excitement about something that they share or something. You just never know where it's going to lead for you or for that other person. So this is why connection is so important. And this is why it just makes me so happy that I'm seeing more and more gatherings, festivals, all this stuff happening really to bring people together, because that's where these really cool connections occur and happen. And yeah, and changes lives for us and others. So anyways, it just makes me so happy. But yeah, so I do have a little bit of a guided journey with the light language activations. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get into it, and then I'll pull some cards after and we'll go from there. Okay, so go ahead, close your eyes, find a comfortable spot again. Just take a nice deep breath in and out. I'm just taking a moment to think about what I've shared. Just thinking about if there's any moments that you've had like that, where you've said something or done something and didn't realize the impact it had on somebody until they shared with you later. Just those little moments that we don't always think about. Just noticing how it makes you feel. Coming from the heart, coming from that place of love. And now I want you to visualize your heart space. I want you to see it glowing green, space in our chest. And I want you to visualize all these really tiny threads of light coming out from your heart space. There's millions upon millions of them. All these little threads of light that have touched others' souls, others' hearts. And as you take a look at all these tiny little threads, I want you to see there's differences in them. Some might shine brighter. Some might shine a little bit less. And some might be very dull looking. This is a reflection of the different interactions that we have with others. Some are going to glow brighter than others, having that impact. Either that conversation, that connection has lit up your soul or lit up someone else's. It's sparked something within through joy and love. The ones that are not as bright, but still shining, are all those interactions that maybe didn't have as much of an impact, but it was still appreciated. It was still cherished in some way. And the ones that are dull, don't really shine at all, those are the interactions that we honestly don't even need to carry. Those might be the ones that carry around a little bit of hurt, or those conversations that don't seem to go anywhere, the small talk. We can let those ones dissolve. You can see those little threads just dissolving away. Freeing up space for new connections, new threads of light to form with others. You put the intention out there of having more meaningful conversations with people, more meaningful connections. So the next time that you tune into your heart space and see these threads of light, there may be more that shine brighter than you see right now. But just inviting in those more high frequency connections filled with love and joy. It's okay to still have the dull conversations. It's part of being human. But we can definitely invite more meaningful ones in. And with those dull ones, you can always come in and dust off the space, making way for new ones. And as we're here, again, just seeing those threads, maybe tapping into the bright ones to see what they are, which ones had the impact for you or others. As I share the light language activations, the codes. And these codes, if you allow it, the intention with them is to just help open you up to those more meaningful conversations, the connections, the more high frequency of love and joy. So you can start to see the impact we're having around us more and more in the little things we do and we say. Na nilihato liaska, na lilioto kolioto, na liliakaliato koshkuriatata kiliata, na ni niakalato kotoliataskara, niklianiatoko liaskara niatokoshkri, na nikliatoko liatana niliakoskara na niliania. Niliania koliata, naskra niliania koliata nishkuru wotanana niliaskata, nishkari niliotani, niskaralia lioliato, liliato, nakariata, nilkariaskutata, liatana. Naskara neleato liatakri takashkreata no nuliaskra ni nikra nuliata nilioto hut niskara just allowing the codes to do what they need to for you. Know that they'll continue working even after today. Take a nice deep breath in and out, coming back to the body. And And slowly, when you're ready, you may open your eyes and return back to your space. Okay. So yeah, just taking note of how you felt through that, and yeah. And as you move through now and continue on, just remembering when you're having those conversations with people that are resonating, speak from the heart and allow yourself to be open to also receive their words too, because it might spark something in you as well. So just some cool things to keep in mind as we move through life. It's being more in the present moment and aware of what's happening. So, okay, I'm going to pull 2 cards today. So, and they're coming from the Sacred Spirit reading cards. I haven't used these cards in a long time. So 2 cards, intuitively picking card 1 or card 2 for just a little extra message. There's card 1. Yeah, just a little extra, whatever else we may need to know. Intuitively feeling into if you're wanting card number 1 or card, oh damn. Or card, okay. 3 came out. And I'm feeling like I need to do 3. So intuitively picking card 1, 2, or 3. If you already picked 1, that's fine. You can pick 2. Trust yourself. But there's 3 that want to be shared. So maybe they're all 3 for you. Okay. The first one's so perfect. So it's Ascended Masters, but the message on it is create open communication. So everything we're talking about, communication, and being open to it, right? Like, I think a lot of us have been in hermit mode for a little bit now. And over the years, we've been slowly kind of coming back out of that. You know, society things have caused that. We're not going to get into it. But we've been slowly coming out of it. This year, I really feel this push that we are being really asked to move out of that hermit mode and connecting with others. And by us pushing ourselves out of that comfort zone and going to things where there's other people there, that is opening up that communication. That is what's going to allow you to start having more of those meaningful conversations and receiving the high frequency love and joy from others as well. So, which this next card is super important and a little bit of a reminder. So card number 2 is Guardian. And it says guard your energy. So again, we do have to be aware as we're having these conversations with other people, we're not going to resonate with everybody, okay? And that is totally normal. So don't beat yourself up if you don't resonate with everyone. Nobody's going to resonate, or not everyone's going to resonate with you either. So just keep that in mind. So don't put your energy into a conversation that you don't feel like you resonate with, okay? Protect your own energy. And yeah, so just keep that in mind, because the more we put ourselves out there in the community with connecting with others, we do just have to be aware of what feels good and what doesn't. So just a good little reminder in there with that card. And maybe that's why that came in. That one's just for everybody. Like, yeah, good reminder. But then card 3 is Galactic Healer. But the message is move forward with an open mind. And that is huge as we communicate with others. Because not everything, again, is going to resonate. But the way somebody else might think might not be the way that you see things. And in that moment, it might be like, no, I don't agree with that at all. But if you go at it more with an open mind and more curiosity with communication with others, when you're connecting with others, you might be able to take away some little nuggets that maybe you never thought of before. So it's to protect yourself if something really isn't feeling like it's resonating. But if it's because it's something that you don't necessarily agree with, or you've never really thought of it that way, before you put those shields up and push it away, it might just be a little bit of an invitation just to stay open and maybe see things in a different light, see things in a different way. It doesn't mean you got to change your mind or anything like that. It's just being open to what others are sharing, are saying, and being respectful of it too. Because we're all seeing through different lenses in the world. So we're all going to have our own experiences, stories. It's the same as me sharing these on here. And that's why I always say, take what resonates and leave the rest. But if you come with an open mind, as I'm sharing this, it might spark things within you that you haven't thought before or looked at things a certain way before. So these two, I'd almost say this was card 1, this was card 2, with this one just being the overall don't forget. So yeah, just keeping those in mind. But we're not going to have those moments if we're not putting ourselves out there. So trust yourself. If you're feeling that pull to get out, do things with others, meet new people, go to the gatherings, go to the festivals, go to the retreats, do it. Trust it. And that's what I mean. This year, I really feel like that energy is very strong, of asking a lot of us to step out of our comfort zones, to step out of hermit mode, put ourselves out there so we can start having these more meaningful conversations and start weaving those threads more and more with others. Yeah. Okay, that's all I got for you guys today. So, as always, thank you so much for joining. If there's ever anything you want to share, you can definitely comment, or you can reach out to me through my social media. If you like the video, give it a like. If you want to continue following along, I post these every Friday. You can subscribe to my page so you never miss them. And yeah, like I said, just as you move forward now, keep thinking about this in your conversations with others, and you might start to see those threads being weaved more and more. But okay, before we go, I just like to do a little closeout. Close your eyes. You can place your hands on your heart if you wish. Just take a nice deep breath in and out. Thanking yourself for taking this moment for you, for being open to receive whatever wanted to come through for you, and walking this journey with an open heart. Okay, thanks, loves. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next Friday.